How have countries in different stages of the demographic transition model contributed to pollution? The demographic transition model is a visual representation of the demographic transition developed by American demographer Warren Thompson in 1929. Demographic transition is defined as a process of change in a society's population from high crude birth and death rates and low rate of natural increase to a condition of low crude birth and death rates, low rate of natural increase, and higher total population. Stage 1 of the demographic transition model is characterized by low growth due to very high crude birth and very high crude death rates. There are currently no countries in this stage. Stage 2 is characterized by high growth due to high crude birth rates and declining crude death rates. Stage 3 is characterized by declining growth due to declining crude birth and crude death rates. Stage 4 is characterized by low growth due to very low crude birth and crude death rates. Possible stage 5 would be characterized by decline in the population due to very low crude birth and crude death rates. Back in 1948, Donora, Pennsylvania, in the United States, struggled with rather extreme air pollution. Industrial growth in America and throughout the rest of the world contributed greatly to this increasing air pollution. However, once news of areas such as Donora were spread across the United States, more studies began focusing on this problem, and eventually, in 1970, the Clean Air Act amendments were passed, which allowed for America's air quality standards to be established. However, not all countries followed in America's footsteps in attempting to reduce pollution. Today, the top 10 most polluted countries include Number 1 with Afghanistan. Afghanistan is in the second stage of the demographic transition model and has a pollution index of 92.20. In some years, studies have shown that air pollution in Afghanistan was more dangerous than the wars occurring in the country. Also, insufficient rainfall and inadequate infrastructure in cities has led to around 80% of Afghanistan's drinking water to be polluted. Number 2 with Mongolia. Mongolia is in the third stage of the demographic transition model and has a pollution index of 91.84. Number 3 with Myanmar. Myanmar is in the third stage of the demographic transition model and has a pollution index of 89.77. Number 4 with Lebanon. Lebanon is in the third stage of the demographic transition model and has a pollution index of 89.35. Number 5 with Ghana. Ghana is in the third stage of the demographic transition model and has a pollution index of 88.98. Number 6 with Nigeria. Nigeria is in the third stage of the demographic transition model and has a pollution index of 87.35. Number 7 with Monaco. The demographic transition model stage of Monaco is not known, and it has a pollution index of 86.76. Number 8 with Vietnam. Vietnam is in the third stage of the demographic transition model and has a pollution index of 85.92. Number 9 with Bangladesh. Bangladesh is in the third stage of the demographic transition model and has a pollution index of 84.91. Bangladesh mainly struggles with air, water, and noise pollution, and the primary cause of their extreme air pollution is due to its brick-making industry. Finally, number 10, with Egypt. Egypt is in the third stage of the demographic transition model and has a pollution index of 84.35. Today, the top 10 least polluted countries include: number 1, with Finland. Finland is in the fourth stage of the demographic transition model and has a pollution index of 11.86. Fierce environmental regulations have been put in place by the government in order to achieve such cleanliness. Finland's government has focused on protecting its wildlife and natural land, as well as promoting renewable energy and the use of electric vehicles. Number 2, with Iceland. Iceland is in the fourth stage of the demographic transition model and has a pollution index of 16.24. Number 3, with Norway. Norway is in the fourth stage of the demographic transition model and has a pollution index of 18.14. Number 4, with Sweden. Sweden is in the fourth stage of a demographic transition model and has a pollution index of 18.44. Number 5, with Estonia. Estonia is in the fourth stage of the demographic transition model and has a pollution index of 19.01. Number 6, with Austria. Austria is in the fourth stage of the demographic transition model and has a pollution index of 19.20. Number 7, with Switzerland. Switzerland is in the fourth stage, approaching the fifth of this demographic transition model, and has a pollution index of 20.09. Number 8, with Denmark. Denmark is in the fourth stage of the demographic transition model and has a pollution index of 20.40. Number 9, with Slovenia. Slovenia is in the fourth stage of the demographic transition model and has a pollution index of 22.65. And finally, number 10, with Luxembourg. Luxembourg is in the fourth stage of the demographic transition model as well and has a pollution index of 23.27. The most polluted countries in the world tend to be around stage 3, while the least polluted countries are generally stage 4. Christine Kim of Yale, research director for the EPI, says, "The richer you become, the more polluted you become, to a point. Then you become cleaner," in reference to countries. The more developed countries are able to focus more of their attention and resources on issues such as pollution than in the stage 3 countries. Though both are far from perfect, steps are being made to reduce pollution on a global scale as the consequences of it become much more apparent. In addition, though one may believe that stage 4 countries such as America may produce the most plastic waste pollution due to their high levels of consumption in these countries, this isn't always the case. While their intake is higher in most of these more developed countries, they also often have more efficient and organized waste management, allowing for less pollution due to mismanaged waste. The top 5 highest contributors to mismanaged plastic pollution include: number 1, with China. China is a stage 4 country. Number 2, with Indonesia. Indonesia is a stage 3 country that also struggles with severe air pollution. Number 3, with the Philippines. The Philippines are a stage 3 country. Number 4, with Vietnam. Vietnam is a stage 3 country. Number 5, with Thailand. Thailand is a stage 3 country as well. So, how have countries in different stages of the demographic transition model contributed to pollution? Though it depends on the state, stage 3 countries are generally the biggest polluters and stage 4 countries are leaning more towards a cleaner future. Ask yourself, what can I do to help our world become the cleanest it can be.